help us get to 2,000 subscribers, and Dylan will get naked and streak at the next UMass football game. So
Oh
please, if you guys
yeah.
want to see that happen,
2,000? 2,000,
yeah,
that's the number?
yeah.
Bro, I was going for 1.9, but I'll wait it out a little bit.
Dude, you know, I saw UMass right now are ranked like I think the
Ranked
third
bottom
worst team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
25.
third worst team. You should repost on your story. Be like, yo, let's go.
I'm a media member. I can't be hating.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Back Pocket Podcast, episode 14. I actually have dementia when it comes to our which number podcast, but welcome back, everybody, with our weekly episode of the NFL recapping this past week, week 7. Obviously, very, very fun week. I think a little bit of a turnover in the NFL, if I may. I think there were some games where it's like really good teams get blown out. We will talk about, as always, let me introduce myself and my co-host, Kian McDermott, my wonderful co-host. We only have 2 on today. We always start off strong with all 4 of us, and then just as the season goes on, it dwindles down. But Charlie Nidell, Charlie, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling good. Giants got to win this weekend. Albeit a pretty boring game, but hey, I'm excited.
Dylan Shalom. Dylan, how are you?
I'm doing significantly less well than I would have been in most prediction videos, but we carry on. Football is football. I'm excited to talk ball.
Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We're actually getting very close to 2,000 subscribers, so if you guys can help us get there, that would mean the absolute world as well. What else? Follow our Spotify. Listen to us over there. Give us a follow over there. Gentlemen, first topic that I have for you, and it's a good one, and I like it. Pittsburgh Steelers, really good division that they are in. Again, this is what I mean by a little bit of turnover in the NFL. You kind of see how Pittsburgh start. It's again like, okay, I think this might be the final season that Mike Tomlin does not go over 500 with them. Obviously, they have kind of flipped that around. Dylan, I'll go to you first. When you look at Pittsburgh, give me an overview of how they've been playing recently, and if you think the playoffs is a potential kind of if they can look to make the playoffs.
This is going to be the worst analysis you've ever heard. Do not listen to a thing I'm saying just because it provides nothing of value. But they're playing Pittsburgh. They're just being the Steelers. And it just happens every year that they're not good. Then they figure something out. And then they're not good, but they win. So, like,
I completely get it, though. Like, I think that's a very fair analysis of it.
Like, I haven't seen anything change in the way they're playing. They're playing exactly the same style of football, and they're playing better teams now, and they just like are managing to win. So I don't really know what it is. I know TJ Watt is phenomenal. He's been phenomenal all year. Their O-line is maybe a little improved and giving Pickett a little more time, but Matt Canada is still playing the same game he's been playing, and maybe it's that the players are just not listening to his play calls anymore. I don't know. You probably saw like 2 weeks ago. He was visibly upset when Pickett audibled out of his play and threw a deep touchdown to Pickens. He was in the box and he was visibly upset that he audibled out of the play and it worked. It was so funny.
Can I get a consensus here though? Is Kenny Pickett good? Like, isn't that like, it's so weird that that's such a hard question though, right?
You know,
but
at the beginning of the season, I would have answered yes because I drafted him in fantasy football leagues because I was expecting a huge jump from him this season. But as he's playing right now, no. But I don't think that's his fault.
I'm going to say I'm not even taking situation into effect. I'm just thinking purely football-wise. I think he's good. I don't know. I'm like
this is a very big gray area for our channel. Like this is on the topic list, and generally when we have like stuff on our topic list, I'm like, oh yeah, you kind of like formulate what you're gonna say, and I was like, damn, the Steelers one. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna say.
I mean, for me, the big thing, the difference between the Steelers the past couple weeks and this week was Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson's coming back from injury, and Deontay Johnson's been one of the most consistent receivers in the NFL over the last few years.
Underrated.
Last year, he had a very underwhelming season just because he didn't get into the end zone a single time last year. You can expect that to change because that's just unlucky. It wasn't because of a target share drop in the red zone. He just did not score. But Deontay Johnson coming back, I think, was a lot bigger than people realize because he had 5 catches for 79 yards, which is a good game in and of itself. But then George Pickens had 100 yards. Najee Harris finally had a relatively productive game on the ground. they just introduced one more threat that freed up their other threats a little bit. And I think that's why they played with a little bit more offensive freedom. Jalen Warren scored, Najee Harris scored, Kenny Pickett scored on the ground. And the Rams, I think, didn't have a great game. So everything combined, again, I think what Dylan said is pretty much right. The Steelers will be the Steelers. This is going to be, will they make the playoffs? It's kind of hard to tell, but they're going to win games.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. The Steelers' offense is perennially top 7. Their defense is perennially bottom 10. So it's a 9-8 team again. And will that be enough? Who knows?
I don't think it will be. But maybe it will be. I don't know. It's so because I think we talked about at the beginning of the season. It's like their division is definitely a division where 3 of those teams could go to make the playoffs. I think we were talking about how like
all of them,
like all of them. So it's definitely tough for me because it's still the thing where it's like, is Kenny Pickett good? I still don't have the answer for you guys yet. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I really don't have the answer for you guys yet. I guess I guess the kind of thing is, and I actually want to, this is kind of off topic and I don't mean to say that, but as football analysts, I find it very overwhelming when Sunday comes because I feel like I have to watch every game, but I can't watch every game. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like sometimes I'm like, I just don't know because I physically can't watch all these games and have a, conform opinion on all these games. And I try and watch highlights, but that's not,
I fully agree. I mean, I try to watch every highlight of every game. Sometimes my ADHD brain doesn't let me do that without like going to other tabs, looking on Twitter. So Kenny Pickett, I did watch the highlights of the game and he looked all right. He looked like, but like it's just like another quarterback to me. I don't know. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, to add on to the question of is Kenny Pickett good, this one may be a little easier for you guys to answer. It's not any easier for me to answer. Is Najee Harris good?
No,
I actually don't think he is.
I don't think he's good.
Because this is another total. He had a fantastic rookie season.
He can be really good and prototypically 100%. Yeah,
borderline awful.
Yeah.
His yards per carry numbers are just so bad. I don't know. It's another one where the Steelers just look like sometimes they can be good, sometimes they cannot be good, and sometimes you just can't tell. But
yeah, I guess we'll have to leave a pin in that one. I'm sure Surge would have a very long rant because Surge knows everything. But
right about now,
for us, we'll leave a pin in there. Let's move on. Same division. Let's talk Lamar Jackson. Let's talk Baltimore Ravens. Something we can talk about. I feel like we'll have a consensus agreement on this. I might be completely wrong. Is it crazy to say that Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the National Football League right now?
No, that's not crazy. No, I don't think that's crazy. I think I might disagree just because Mahomes, I know he hasn't had a great season so far, but he's the best quarterback in the league if we're being real. But this season, I think that Lamar, I'll still say Mahomes, Tua, Herbert, and Goff have been the only quarterbacks that have been good.
And Purdy, you have to give it to Purdy.
And Purdy, you're right. I'll say Purdy. It's just like I don't know what's going on with the quarterbacks in this league, but yeah, I mean,
and Tyrod Taylor.
All right, well, yeah, but
I'm joking. No, I actually
played well, but
I don't think it's crazy either. I think Lamar Jackson is right now the favorite for MVP. I think pretty confidently
that's so reasonable. That's so reasonable.
Charlie, you did disagree, Charlie. I'd like to hear what you have to say.
No. I think that right now, it's kind of contradicting what I said. I think that right now Lamar Jackson is the MVP, probably, if they had to give it out. I don't think that we're looking at the best quarterback in the league, though. I think Lamar it's my argument for a lot of these guys, but I think Lamar's just a little bit too inconsistent for me. He played phenomenally well against Detroit this week, and I must confess it's not a game I watched. We just talk about not being able to watch every game. I watched the Giants game at 1:00. I did not watch Detroit against Baltimore. I just heard how amazingly well Lamar played. But for me, Lamar, he had 3 touchdowns this week, plus 1 on the ground. But last week had 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and week 1 had no touchdowns, 1 pick, and week 5 had no touchdowns, 1 pick. So Lamar is a super inconsistent player who I think he's really, really good. And this is a Ravens team that I thought was going to be unbelievably good this year. I think at the start of the season, I know I sent my predictions to you guys. I had the Ravens winning this division, and I think they will win this division.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's more due to the Bengals being so awful right now. I think most people had the Bengals winning this division. I had the Ravens winning this division this year because I thought Lamar would step up. And if we're gonna see MVP Lamar for the rest of the year, that's a really great thing for this league because Lamar is so fun to watch. I mean, Lamar is one of those players that when he's at the top of his game, it's different. And like I'm just bringing this up because it's the top of my brain. Like, and this is not to start an argument at all. When I'm watching a guy like Tua play at his best, it's just not as fun to watch as someone like Lamar playing at his best because there's just no comparison to when Lamar is on.
I think
And-
Dylan can agree with that.
No, I fully
And-
agree with that. I think
and it's
other
just
than
like,
Mahomes and maybe Allen, I think Lamar's the.
Lamar.
I would
is such
even
a
say
fun
Lamar
player.
over Allen. I think it's just
Yeah, no, I
Lamar
totally agree
over
because
all of them.
Lamar just
Lamar
no.
over
I
all
would
of
say
them.
no on time. On
Mahomes is a
time,
little
Mahomes is
different to
different.
watch.
I know. I mean, like polarizing though. Just like Lamar when he's like run. Okay, I see what you mean.
Mahomes when he's diving and throwing the
Yeah,
ball with
yeah,
his left
yeah.
hand 60 yard. Like, I mean, it's just like a,
Yeah,
you know, but Lamar, I think this Ravens team is really, really good. I think they're the real deal this year.
yeah, and that's
The
something I want
problem
to.
is going to be winning the big games. They lost to the Colts and they lost to the Steelers.
Yeah,
But then again, they went out and beat a team in the Detroit Lions that a lot of people were saying was the best team in the league by 32 points. So
yeah, and that's exactly what I segue into. Kind of just talking about the Ravens as a whole. I mean, that's what I love about the NFL. That's also what I hate. Like we were talking last episode, I was like, yeah, I really think the Detroit Lions are 100% a Super Bowl winning team. We posted a clip about it on, on all of our social medias, and I was like, and I still believe that. I do still believe that. A little less, but I do believe it. But it's like it's a Ravens team that dismantled a very, very good, well coached, not very many holes Lions team. Like it's a really well built Lions team that they absolutely dismantled. And the thing is, though, Lamar, his MVP season, no matter how good the defense was, he was able to do this to any defense in the NFL. The past couple of seasons, no, not as much. But I mean, you look at just, and we were talking about it. And although Odell did not have a very good end to the game, he started off very well. And I think that might be kind of the difference there is Lamar really having that wide receiver one. And then, I mean, no, we know their defense is very, very good. I mean, you look at the linebacking core, fantastic. Patrick Queen, although hasn't been the standout guy we thought he would be coming out of LSU. Shout out Patrick Queen. He was one of the guys we talked about when we started the channel when he came out of that draft class. But I mean, obviously Roquan Smith they have and defensive line, their front seven is very good. Their secondary has never had the standout guys, but always is solid. And I think for them, it's again, it was two really well-built teams in the Ravens and in the Lions going up against each other. But the Ravens dismantled a Lions team, again, like I said, that just is very solid. And it is a team that I would least expect out of any team in the NFL, besides maybe the Chiefs, to have this amount of points and this big of a point differential against them. So I think a lot of people are saying the Ravens are the best team in the NFL right now. And I think I think it's warranted. I think that performance warranted that kind of hype.
Yeah, I don't hate that take at all. I mean, if you look at it, the Ravens front, like the trenches for the Ravens just dominated the Lions, who are fundamentally possibly the best team in the trenches in the league.
Oh, offensive line.
said that last week.
Best O-line, 100% best O-line.
And Ronnie Stanley, who I saw Charlie giving a lot of credit to Lane Johnson, and that deserves to be given. But I think Ronnie Stanley is possibly the best tackle in football right now because he is making this running game work. They run with Lamar Jackson through the A gap, through the B gap, and let him do whatever he wants with the outsides. And Ronnie Stanley, regardless of where that is, he is pushing people all over the place. Aiden Hutchinson didn't have room to breathe.
And Ronnie Stanley was there in the MVP season.
Yeah.
I believe.
But it wasn't just Lamar Jackson who was great on the ground this week because Lamar Jackson averaged 4 yards per carry, but Justice Hill averaged about 12 yards per carry, and Gus Edwards was running around 4 yards per carry as well. So
Gus Edwards had an 80-yard reception as well.
And Gus Edwards, I mean, this was just an all-around, I think, great performance from the Ravens offensive line to start. I think that's where you beat the Lions, and somehow the Ravens were able to do it.
100%.
Yeah, so who is the best team in the league? You think the Ravens?
We'll move on. Yeah, I think the best team in the NFL is the Ravens. Right now, I think it is the Ravens. I would have said the Lions a week ago, but I think it's the Ravens.
So the Niners lost this week. The Bills lost this week and have just not been convincing after their blowout win. The Dolphins haven't beaten a real team yet, so I'm not going to be able to put them in there.
God bless you for saying that, Dylan. Bless your soul.
I'm going to be real with you. They need to beat a good team.
No, I agree.
The Cowboys are frauds.
Oh, yeah.
The Ravens, I mean, the Eagles lost to the Jets last week. I think I'm still going to say the Eagles. I think I'm still going to say the Eagles are the best team in the league because they just brought in Kevin Byard and they just showed that they can shut down the most electric offense in the NFL, the running game that was the best in the NFL, just by sticking Hassan Reddick on an assignment and completely blowing it up. And then you bring in Kevin Byard, who, in my opinion, has been a top 3 safety in the league for the past 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, not fair that they got him.
He's probably not that level anymore, but he's just a big upgrade on Reed Blankenship. So they're gonna be filthy for the rest of the year. And that the Lincoln Financial crowd is phenomenal. They threw the Dolphins off last night. They've been throwing teams off all season.
Charlie, I don't Dylan, I'm not hating on you for this, but Dylan said the exact same thing at when they played the Bills. Dude, they're freaking fans. They got the Dolphins riled up.
No, I mean, I wouldn't. It's a different thing this week because the Bills. That claim was legitimately like the Dolphins could not handle Orchard Park in that game. The Dolphins played pretty well against the Eagles in the first half, but the Eagles team beat the Dolphins team. So and the refs, but we're not good.
Best team in the league is actually a really tough question right now. Seeing that the Niners lost tonight, I think if the Niners had won tonight, I would have said the 49ers.
I agree.
But I don't know if you guys
lost
saw
the
this.
Vikings.
They lost the Vikings
tonight.
I didn't see.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but in the first quarter, Charvarius Ward picked off Kirk Cousins.
I did see that. Yeah.
After taking the ball out of Jordan Addison's hands, and then at the end of the second quarter, Kirk Cousins went deep to Jordan Addison, and Charvarius Ward caught it, and then Addison took it back from him and went for a touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, Jordan Addison was sitting on my bench in fantasy, so what are we gonna do about it?
He went out injured, right?
I
saw he walked off.
I know he had 2 touchdowns. So.
Yeah, I saw those 2 touchdowns. I was saying they could win the game. Yeah.
For me, the best team in the league, I have to say the Chiefs. They're 6-0 in the last 6 weeks.
They have not. Other than this week where I think they did play well. This week they did,
guys, but it's not fair. It's because they have Taylor Swift. It's not fair. Whenever they have Taylor Swift, they play well.
No, they have not played a good game this season, other than that game and the Bears game.
But I don't think that's right. I think this Chiefs team is not a team that, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like most seasons the Chiefs are a pretty boring team in the regular season, just because we expect them to win games. And
they blow out teams. This season they have not blown out teams the same way.
I think they blew out the Chargers this week. I know it was only 14 on the score sheet.
No, but their offense was phenomenal, so I'll give them that. Yeah.
I would argue that a 19-8 win, including a garbage time touchdown for the Broncos, is a blowout.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
You struggled to put points on the Broncos, who led up 72 weeks or 3 weeks before.
This game was 16-0 going into the fourth quarter.
But that's not a blowout.
I mean, Charlie, the Broncos are awful.
But it's a really good.
Regardless of how you put it, the Chiefs didn't play well in that game.
But their defense did.
Okay, fair enough. But the offense did.
Right, but there are 2 sides of the ball, right?
Yeah, but the Broncos' offense is terrible.
Why is the Chiefs' defense good?
But either way, the Chiefs
really
defensively,
Chris
17
Jones.
points against the Chargers, 8 points against the Broncos, 20 points against the Vikings.
Refs gave them that game.
20 points defensively.
Refs gave them the Jets game. Refs gave them the Jets game.
Only 10 against the Bears. They blew out the Bears.
Yeah, I said that. Week 2, they got their blowout.
I think that the Chiefs, only 9 points against the Jaguars. They haven't let up more than 20 points all season, which is new for the Chiefs.
In my 4 years of being on this channel, or 3 or 4 years, I have never pointed to officiating. And the Chiefs legitimately could be a 3-3 team right now, or 4-3? I don't know. Whatever it would be.
It's totally fair.
If it was even competent officiating.
No, it's fair, but I think that the officiating goes the way it goes, and as mad as I am about the officiating, because I think it's so bad right now.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Not to even bring up the Giants-Bills game last week,
not to bring up the Dolphins Eagles yesterday.
The officiating, it's for whatever reason is so bad right now. But I think that's really hard to take into account because it's going to continue being bad and it's not going to flip. And that just means anything can happen.
But here's the thing, and I'm not gonna put on a tinfoil hat and play conspiracy theorist, but the Chiefs have gotten bailed out twice now by blatant referee interference. It wasn't like they missed a call. The referee told L'Jarius need to put his helmet back on. The referee in the Jets game sees very clearly Sauce Gardner intercepts the pass. The holding happened maybe 2 or 3 seconds before, throws the flag. I don't think it's that crazy to call collusion on this. I really don't.
But I think
you'll
as
always be
NFL
called
fans,
crazy for
we
saying
really
that.
can't. Like, it's just you can't assume that there is script writing or
I'm not going to
paying
say
of the
script writing, but
referees or anything, because it truly ruins the game if you think about it in that way. For me, I think that
no, I get it.
when you start to think about it as that was an intentional missed call, you start to think about everything as an intentional missed call. And these guys they make mistakes. I know they make a lot in Chiefs games.
It's a little too
like,
much. It's not really a coincidence
or not. Like,
yeah.
there's human error, and like even if I'm wrong, even if there's some sort of collusion in here, I just like to chalk all this up to human error, because I just feel like thinking about it any other way just kind of ruins the point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think, Dylan, I think we should move on after this. I think the only reason, I think the thing you should try and look at is the Sauce Gardner technically was holding, like technically by the rules.
Yeah, but
of
if you
the game
watch
was
every
holding.
play,
no,
every play, there's gonna be a hold.
No,
somewhere.
I completely agree with you. But again, it's just that kind of thing where it's maybe the ref just saw it. Like, that's I guess
the ref saw it late, or he
Yeah.
missed the flag in his pocket. Like, there's just I choose to chalk things up to human error rather than collusion.
Nah, we as the fans have the ability to do that,
Yeah.
but it's just something that's caught my eye a few too many times for me to just let go.
Speaking of something even weirder, I swear the NFL listens to our podcast and then just switches everything we say. Like, we talk, the lines are great. I was talking about how the Patriots are like one of the worst teams I've seen, and they go and beat the Bills.
The Bills also almost lost the Giants and did lose to the Jets. The Bills aren't that good.
No, I agree, but Charlie,
I hate this.
I mean, Charlie, the Patriots were the worst. Like, that Saints game was genuinely one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a football team in my life.
Yeah, no.
Like, in my life, I was watching that like, wow, this is like, and I said it on our podcast. I was like, Mac Jones looks like a kid who's playing a sport and just isn't good at it. Like the kid you don't want on your team.
I called it a toddler temper tantrum.
We also saw the Giants lose 40-0 to the Cowboys, and a few weeks later are holding the Bills to 14 points and then winning a game the next week. So I think that
but
I agree with you.
Does those two analogies not have a lot to do with the Bills? Because both of them,
they absolutely do, and that's what I'm trying to say. And it's just I don't think, and this goes back to a point I made a few weeks ago talking about Josh Allen, inconsistent. He's inconsistent.
Yeah.
He can go out there and he can beat the Dolphins, but then he'll also go out there and lose to the Patriots. And I don't think that this loss was on Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen actually played a pretty good game. I think it was more defensively for the Bills. This was not a Josh Allen bad performance. We'll put it that way. Yeah. As he was bad against the Giants last week, but your quarterback is such a big part of your team to the point where even if he's not on top of his game, if he's not having an excellent game, the team's not having an excellent game. So this Bills team, they play the way Josh Allen is playing. And when Josh Allen's not playing great, they're not playing great. And losses like this are going to happen. They're just happening for the Bills a little too much for me. And I think this is less so a Patriots thing. This is more so a Bills thing for me.
Yeah, I agree. So, I think it just shows. I mean, the NFL this year is just like more wide. It's getting more and more wide open every year. Like every year. I mean, there's every single team. Like, there's not been a Eagles of last year or like a Chiefs of the year before, or the Chiefs of the year before. Like, there is not a single invincible team. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like every team has been, has had their doubts. So it's really, I love it. I think it's great.
I'm just so perplexed by the fact that the Bills can go out and put 45 against Miami, put 40 against the Raiders, just absolutely run the table. And then 2 weeks in a row now, they're playing down to competition that, no offense to the Giants, because I really don't even think the Giants are that bad, but given the circumstances, Sunday night, Tyrod Taylor, you're supposed to beat the hell out of them. And they
were the biggest point favorites in all season. And then they only went out and won by 5.
Really? Wow, that actually kind of surprised me.
With bad refereeing again. But then you go and you lose to the Patriots, and I think some credit has to be given to Bill Belichick, who he said he got his team in check. He said, "You know what? We're going to do things differently." He got Pop Douglas involved in the game. He got Gesicki involved in the game, and I mean, it's just so weird. The Bills.
I agree, but
I mean,
I know we're saying all these things and being so surprised, but I mean, it just shows that history repeats itself. The Bills classically have been able to beat the Dolphins, and classically the Patriots give the Bills problems.
Yeah.
So I think we can be
Patriots
as surprised.
beat every team in that division, but still only win 6 games.
No, exactly. Like we can be as surprised as we want, but I mean, this literally just came across as we're talking about it. I mean, history just repeats itself. Like this happens every year. The Patriots know how to beat their teams in their division. The Bills have consistently just been able to beat the Dolphins.
Oh, we are the Bills ragdoll.
Oh no, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean I mean, to be fair, the Dolphins beat the Bills last year, but
but it's one win in 12 games, and I'm the biggest Dolphins fan you'll ever meet. But it almost makes me cringe when people call it a rivalry because they just own us.
I mean, it's the same with the Giants and the Cowboys. I mean, the Giants just for some reason cannot beat the Cowboys, but I mean, so I guess I think we really just solved the equation there.
But it's also, I mean, guess who just played his first game in a Patriots jersey in the last couple of years? J.C. Jackson.
Yeah,
all of a sudden the Patriots go out and win a game. I mean,
how did he play?
He was actually phenomenal. He kept Stephon Diggs in check for the majority of the game. Stephon Diggs did well.
He's done it before.
He did well at the end of the game, Diggs, but J.C. Jackson was playing really, really well in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Who knows? Belichick had his star cornerback. Who knows?
Yeah. We'll move on. Let's talk about who would have thought? Let's talk about a Division II quarterback. Tyson Bagent. Bagent, excuse me. Leave it up to Dylan to correct. Dylan always knows the names.
Got it.
I'm not gonna lie. And Charlie, I'll let you. I mean, most of these topics I don't like. I'm pretty good at I can flow, I can intro stuff. I'm just very either I'm not on my game or these topics just have me stumped. I mean, a Division II quarterback won a game yesterday. And he plays on the Chicago Bears.
That's pretty much all I have to say about it also. I mean, it's just like, let's take a moment and ponder what has gone wrong in the Raiders organization to let this happen to them, because this is a team that talent-wise is a playoff team. And then your quarterback gets hurt, your star defensive end is now in a mental institution, and you
Max Crosby
completely collapse. I was saying Chandler Jones.
I know. But Max Crosby's the star guy. Chandler Jones is the side.
You're right. But
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's really like
Brian Hoyer played a game in 2023. Let's talk about that. Brian Hoyer started a football game this year.
And we had Brian Hoyer against Tyson Bagent.
I will, to be fair, just mention that Tyson Bagent was in my top 100 for the Billboard or for the Big Board this year, which maybe
that's
crazy,
an Akil Glass
may
pick.
not be.
That's
crazy.
an Akil Glass pick right there.
That's
Charlie,
just one of those random ass ones that I was going through, and I'm pretty sure it was Tyson Bagent who I couldn't find how old he was, which is the most random thing because all these guys, like, you look up their age and it's just sitting right there in front of you. But Tyson Bagent, there was no date of birth, no nothing. I couldn't find anything all over Shepherd University pages. But this is a D2 quarterback who went out and set records at the Division II level. He, I believe he started as a freshman and played 5 years there, or I guess 4 years of eligibility. But this guy is like the most experienced quarterback to come out of college this year, considering he was a 4-year starter at a D2 level. But
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that means nothing to me.
Yeah, Charlie,
no, it doesn't mean anything to me either. I'm just trying to make it make a little more sense. We kind of worked through that Bills Patriots thing. It still here's where it makes sense. The Raiders suck.
Yeah,
like the Raiders might be worse than the Bears, and that's a crazy thing to say.
No, but the question is
so bad.
Does Justin Fields win that game?
I don't know, but the Raiders are so bad.
That's a thing. The NFL is really just. I mean, I feel like the NFL. It's taken us 4 years, and the NFL has finally just caught us. They just confused it. Like we just got. Like I don't. I feel
like we all have our own strong opinions every game. Last year we would do this. The years before, now we're just like. It's
just more and more confusing. I don't know. First, Charlie says Tyson Bagent's the most experienced quarterback to come out, which like I technically makes
it's
sense.
it's true. I
Like technically is
guess.
true. Then Dylan asked if Justin Fields would win this game, and I don't know. Like maybe not. I
I
don't
think
know,
it
guys.
kind of all comes down to
I think this is where
like
we just
genuinely
delete
how
the
bad the
channel.
Raiders are in the trenches because Josh Jacobs, another incredibly unproductive game. Devontae Adams didn't do much. It doesn't help them that they started Brian Hoyer at quarterback.
But that means
But the
Josh
Bears
Jacobs
scored
should, yeah.
the Bears scored 30 points.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
what?
30 points
where
is
was-
30 points.
I have a question. Why has day 2 pick Max Mayer been on a milk carton for this entire season? I have not seen his name.
Yeah,
pop
Michael
up
Mayer has
once.
been just
He's
not
played.
great.
Michael Mayer, my bad.
Where he played. I saw him a couple times last week, but you're looking at guys like Sam Laporta and Dalton Kincaid's done a little bit for the Bills.
Luke
more than
Musgrave.
Michael Mayer. Luke Musgrave's been big for the Packers. Michael Mayer just hasn't done much this year.
I mean, he was the best. He was my best tight end coming out of college last year.
He was everybody's best
reference,
tight end
yeah.
coming out.
For reference, Max Mayer was my kindergarten classmate and Schalke midfielder. So there's two Max Mayers.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Max Mayer, man, he was good.
Yeah.
Wait, are you
but-
serious? Though?
No. I'm saying there's two different Max Mayers.
No.
But Michael Mayer also he only has 10 catches this year. Like
yeah.
I don't really know. A lot of people had him going first a lot of people had him in the top 10. A lot of people were saying this was like the
Yeah.
best tight end we've seen.
No.
And Sam Laporta was drafted ahead of him, and Sam Laporta has been unbelievable for the Lions. So I don't really know what's going on with Michael Mayer. I think it's more the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo is their starting quarterback.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
do.
I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know. Wow, we're
I
really
think he's
stumped
awful.
there. I mean,
I think he's awful.
Here's what I'll say to to kind of close out this segment. I think first of all credit to Tyson Badgett. I think a big thing, and I know a reporter was saying this, is like they always say that the difference between D2 and D1 is so different. You really just, as a D2 quarterback, you really don't have a chance to compete, which is probably like, that is definitely true. The levels are definitely vastly different, but I mean, for him to go and again on a Bears team that is arguably the worst in the NFL, and go and win a game like that, and put up 30 points is again credit to him. It's obviously that's a huge feat. He should be extremely proud of himself. But if you're a Raiders fan, you want to harm yourself, to say the least. Like that's I mean, like let's be honest,
saying
like,
the most.
I mean, yeah,
That's saying quite a bit, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. So Raiders fans, if you're out there, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Don't worry. We'll move on to end out the episode. Let's talk offense rookie of the year, defense rookie of the year. We talked MVP last episode. Let's go OROY first. Let's kind of bang these out. Dylan, who do you have as your offensive rookie of the year? I think this is a pretty easy one.
My offensive rookie of the year. I don't think it's easy.
Actually, no,
I
it's not. Excuse me, it's
there's
not.
4 or 5. That
There's
are
2.
Really, really. I'm gonna say it's CJ Stroud because he's a quarterback, and quarterbacks get extra protection from the voting committee, and they're gonna give it to him. But I mean, a healthy Devon Chan and Sam Laporta. There's a lot of people. I'm saying CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's CJ Stroud. And I agree with you with the Devon Shannon and Sam Laporta, but CJ Stroud's a quarterback. He's breaking records as a rookie quarterback. It will be him just because he's a quarterback. So I'm CJ Stroud.
This is a tough one for me because I think Dylan's right. There are some really good options here because I think Puka Nakua is a great shout for offensive rookie of the year. And I think Bijan Robinson's got a good shout.
Yeah.
But I think CJ Stroud is the number one option right now. Just quarterback, he's been good. So I'll take CJ Stroud as well.
All right, let's move on. Defensive rookie of the year. Dylan, I'll go to you first. This is a tougher one.
I've seen enough. It's Devin Witherspoon. He's been unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he is I mean, he is. And again, I loved him coming out of college. Me and Charlie both loved him. I will say, defensively, I think Kirby Joseph, very, very. Oh, is he? Wait, no, this might actually.
He's a second year.
He's a second year. Never,
Yeah,
excuse me. Never
second
mind. I was thinking Jack Campbell's been fantastic. But yeah, I think when you look at impact wise, I would agree. I think it's Devon Witherspoon. So, second year in a row to be that's what I would go with.
For me, I think Devon Witherspoon's been unbelievable as well. Just to be a little different, I'll say Jalen Carter.
Yeah, Jalen Carter there. Yeah.
Both of those guys have been fantastic. And I think, obviously, I prefer if Devin Witherspoon would win it just because I don't like the Eagles. But, I think
It should be a federal crime that the Eagles got Jalen Carter.
It's I mean,
Like,
it's really.
I mean, you guys,
ridiculous.
I mean, we saw it on the draft live stream when me and Charlie just were like, "Are you kidding me? Like, are you actually kidding me?"
and then Nolan Smith.
yeah,
like-
it's
but he hasn't really played this
And
year, so
and they
it's
got
not-
Yeah, he
Keely-
had a sack. He had a sack yesterday.
And they got Keely Ringo again. I don't think he's been playing that much, but he
He's
like
not
he
doing
was
anything, but-
he was arguably the cornerback one. I mean, you look at physically wise, like it's just unfair. I think it's Devon Withers. I mean, he's Richard Sherman. Like
Also,
physicality wise,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's
Just to say a couple other guys' names because I know we talked about a lot of guys for offensive. I do think Carter and Witherspoon are the clear top two, but Will Anderson's been fantastic for the
Yeah,
Titans,
he
for
has
the
been.
Texans, and Brian Branch has been great for the Lions. I know
Yeah.
he's been hurt for
He
the last
has been
couple weeks.
phenomenal.
But
That's a
he's
great
been
point.
really, really great as their slot corner. So I think there are also 4 really good candidates for the defensive rookie of their position, and we'll see how it goes.
I'll tell you who it isn't. Emmanuel Forbes. It is not Emmanuel Forbes.
I also think Deontay Banks has been really good.
Yeah,
Like,
he had
that
that.
could be-
He had the
he's been
blown
really
coverage
good.
against Terry McLaurin, but I
But
think he has been.
that'll happen to everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a man-to-man physical corner. He's going to get beat
Yeah.
every so often. But
Yeah. Yeah.
let's head into the trivia section now.
Here we go,
we-
man.
We've got I think a good one this week. Unfortunately, Serge can't be here, so his score won't jump at all. Our current standings: Dylan is 9 of 24, which
And I
makes
missed
him
last week.
look like he's I missed last week too, I think. So we
Okay.
didn't do trivia. Kian is 8 of 24 and Serge is 7 of 24, which makes us look a little stupid. But these questions are a lot harder than you guys think. Please play along with us and just let us know how many you guys get because these are not easy.
They're hard.
But we can
I
jump
will
straight
tell
into
you,
question 1 if you
I finally erased the games on my whiteboard, so
Perfect.
I don't have that handicap anymore. So yeah,
Straight into
Handicap.
question 1. Well, it's not a handicap.
Yeah.
it's a helper.
I guess yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Straight into question 1. Which of these 4 running backs had the most rushing yards this week? Travis Etienne, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, or Amari DiMercado?
I don't even know who Amari DiMercado is.
Arizona.
Cardinals starting back.
I'm going to play Travis Etienne here.
I'm gonna say. I don't think it was Saquon. I'm gonna go ETN also. That's my second pick.
I totally got you guys with Etienne. He had 2 rushing touchdowns this week, but only 53 yards on the ground. DiMercado with 59, Jonathan Taylor with 75, and Saquon Barkley with 77. Was the leading rusher of those 4 this week.
Damn.
Saquon Barkley. Question 2, which of these wide receivers had the most receiving yards? You've got Josh Downs, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, and George Pickens.
Josh Downs.
I'm playing Mike Evans here.
Dylan went with his gut, and it let him down because Josh Downs,
I knew
125
it.
receiving yards
No, because I
this week.
saw Mike Evans cooking though. Ugh.
Evans
Because
had
Josh
just
Downs is on my
82
bench.
yards.
So I saw. Yep.
Evans had
And I know
82,
Tyreek
George
had 88.
Pickens, Yep, Tyreek with 88 and George
Yep.
Pickens 107.
There we go, man. I'll take it.
Kian levels the score right now. So
There we go.
here we go. Free response question. You guys are gonna get 10 seconds. How many games were decided by 1 score this week, not counting Vikings 49ers that happened tonight?
One score. How many were
One
one
score
score?
games.
5.
Yeah, I don't have time to adequately think about this, so I'm just gonna say 6.
It was 7.
Ah.
I don't have the exact games
how
pulled
are
up,
there
but there
that
were
many
7 one-score
Yeah.
games
It
this
was
week.
a great week of football.
It was a
great
I remember
week of
during
football.
during the witching hour, there was a 4-screen thing. And
Yeah.
it was all
We had
one-score
a
games.
lot.
It was life.
All right, question 4. Which of these quarterbacks did not throw an interception this week?
Mhm.
Gardner Minshew, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and PJ Walker
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
is the correct answer. Lamar Jackson.
Come
I
on,
figured
man.
that one would be pretty easy
I was-
just because we just talked about Lamar for about 20 minutes.
I was
But-
dangerously close to falling for the PJ Walker bait.
Yeah.
That's why I put him in there.
Yeah.
Question 5. This is the one where you guys work together. You've got to name 3 players for me.
Okay.
One of them had 2 interceptions this week, and the other 2 each lost 3 fumbles this week.
each lost 3 fumbles.
Each
Like-
of
like
them
fumbled
lost
3 times?
Fumbles. Each of them fumbled 3 times, and each of those times it was picked up by the defense.
Wait, so wait, sorry. What is it? So you're looking for
One player intercepted the ball twice.
uh
This is a defender, and then 2 players had 3 lost fumbles each.
was it Kenny Moore with the 2 picks? No.
Gardner Minshew lost 3 fumbles.
Yeah.
Let's play that. Yeah.
Gardner Minshew did lose 3
Wow.
fumbles this week.
Damn. That's actually Dylan. Props to you. I know, because I know, because I remember 2 of them. Okay.
And threw a freaking interception. That was not a good
Yeah.
week for him.
Miles Garrett had a fucking monster
He was
game.
unreal.
That's pretty good.
oh, wait, who had-
Desmond Ritter. He lost 3 fumbles. Desmond Ritter definitely lost 3 fumbles.
Dylan, if you think so.
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter also lost 3
Wow.
fumbles this week.
Come on, man.
That was a turnover fest against the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now 2 picks. Who had 2 picks?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be as
Two
good with
interceptions.
this one.
This one's not as easy. I mean, the other ones aren't.
Charlie,
easy,
is it
but I
Kenny
think-
Moore? I don't think it is. Is it Kenny Moore?
It's not Kenny Moore, but I'll
Not
give you guys
Kenny
one more
Moore.
guess.
All right. 2 interceptions.
How many picks did Ritter throw?
I think he only threw 1.
Who threw 2?
But-
I actually don't think Ritter threw an interception this week.
Oh, wow. I know
Um,
Baker threw a pick at the end of the game, but that was.
Did
Baker threw a
Howell?
pick and also lost a fumble.
Did Banks have 2?
Nah, just 1.
She had 1. Did Goff throw 2?
Yeah. Could it be Geno Stone? Because I know he caught 1 for sure. I don't think I have a better guess than Geno Stone.
I don't even know who that is. So sure.
Yeah,
Geno
me
Stone.
neither.
Okay.
Geno Stone's the incorrect answer.
Who was it?
This player actually caught interceptions from 2 different quarterbacks.
Who got
And it was
injured?
Jalen Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Because the Raiders played 2 quarterbacks. I believe
Oh.
he caught 1 from each of
Jalen
them, but it
Johnson,
could have
man.
been 2
Give him
from
some
Hoyer.
love. I love
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson.
I
coming
was
out of
never
Utah.
going to get that. So, yeah.
I actually think
Alright.
he caught both from Hoyer, so I think I was wrong. But he played against 2 different quarterbacks this week.
All right.
Number 6. This is the one we always wait for. And I've been waiting for this question for a long time because for the first time all season, less
It's
than
not
30 players
Oh, it's still
caught
Russian.
touchdowns. And on the stat sheet that I look at, it only shows 30 players at a time, and I take a screenshot of that. And rushing touchdowns, there are always less than 30 players, but for the first time all season, less than 30 caught touchdowns. So you're naming
Okay.
players with receiving touchdowns this week.
All right. Let's
I'll
do
go
it.
first. Josh Downs.
Yeah, Kean can start.
Josh
Josh
Downs. All right.
Downs caught a touchdown.
Darren Waller.
Yep, Darren Waller.
I'm gonna get wrong. Did DJ Moore?
DJ Moore did not catch a touchdown.
Jesus.
It's too
Christ.
early to be making those mistakes, dude.
Yeah. I
Tyreek
know.
Hill.
Fuck.
Tyreek Hill with a touchdown. These ones are always tough. I love them.
I don't know why. I just always blank. Who else caught a touchdown? Who's the other Giants player who got a touchdown? Was it rushing? No, because he threw 2. I mean, I could say Jordan Addison, but it doesn't count, right?
No, Jordan
Nah.
Addison's not going to count.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce had a touchdown.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews had 2 touchdowns.
Top have one? No, I know Nakua didn't have one.
I'm going to put you on the clock. 10 seconds.
Oh, Pickens.
George Pickens, I don't believe, had a touchdown this week.
Did he not?
No touchdowns from George Pickens this week.
Damn.
And to close it off, Jaden Reed.
Oh, Jaden Reed did have one.
Jaden Reed.
That shouldn't even count as a catch.
Jaden Reed. Yeah, Jaden
he
Reed
did have
caught
one.
a touchdown for the Packers.
Well,
receiving
embarrassing.
touchdowns was tough for you guys.
Yeah, embarrassing showing by me.
That
Wow.
was
Wow.
fun.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All right.
thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel.